وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد، أحبتي في الله، نعيش مع كتاب الله مع آيات من سورة الغاشية، مع قوله سبحانه: فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة. My dear brothers and sisters, these ayat from Surah Al-Ghashiyah, and a simple meaning for this which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the Exalted said. Within it is a flowing spring. Within it are couches raised high and cups put in place and cushions laid up and carpet spread around. المولى سبحانه وتعالى في هذه الآيات يصف تلك الجنات الموعودة. وعلى فكرة، الجنة في السماء ونقف عن النار، أي أن الجنة الموعودة هي معدة الآن. قال سبحانه: أعدت للمتقين، وهي في السماء، وفي السماء رزقكم وما توعدون. لكن أين النار؟ النار أيضا موعودة ومعدة، لكن أين هي؟ لا نقف على لأنه لا يوجد أثر صحيح في ذلك. فهذا وصف لأمر معد ومشاهد، وقد شاهده النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في رحلته، في رحلة الإسراء والمعراج، ووصف لنا كثيرا من الأمور والأحداث. تخيل إنسان يرى الجنة وما فيها، ثم يعود إنسانا عاديا يعيش بين الناس ويتحمل الأذى ويتحمل هذا وذاك. لا شك أن رؤية الجنة وما عده الله فيها للمتقين كانت من أسباب تثبيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. ولذلك عندما يقرأ إنسان في هذه الأمور ووصف الجنة، المفترض أن يزيد ذلك إيمانا وإيقانا، يثبت ذلك المؤمن على الجادة وعلى الطريق، فيستسهل في سبيل ذلك كل غال، ويسترخص في ذلك كل ثمن. ألا إن سلعة الله غالية، ألا إن سلعة الله الجنة. يقول سبحانه: يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. فوصف الجنة هو وصف لأمر حسي موجود أعده الله سبحانه وتعالى للمتقين. قال سبحانه: فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Jannah for muttaqeen. And by the way, Jannah, it's there. It's prepared. And it was mentioned, as according to Aqidat Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that it's even in the heavens. It's there and it's in the heaven, as there's indications from the Quran and Sunnah. And hellfire as well is prepared and it's there. Well, we didn't know where exactly it is. There's no, a clear evidence about the place of hellfire, where it is. And the Prophet ﷺ actually, he saw the Jannah in his amazing trip, Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. And he saw what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepared for muttaqeen. And imagine how that even, that something possible, easy for a person, he will see all of that and he will come back to walk on the earth, living a normal life. It's not even that something easy, subhanAllah. If somebody will see that, it might have kind of a depression or something. But actually, that was one of the means of maintaining the heart of the Prophet ﷺ. And that was supposed to be, that as Muslims, we should believe in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why whatever effort that we're making will be little. Because what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewarding you is more than what you are giving. You give up your dunya in order Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you akhirah. And even you don't have to give your dunya unless that will affect in your deen. But if you can maintain both dunya and akhirah, that what should be. So that's one of the reasons to maintain your heart when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will describe all of that for you. One time there's a group from ulama from Azhar came in the early 70s to visit the United States, and they saw the technology. And when they sit together, they start praising, look at that, look at this, how they were amazed by all of that. One of them, he said, if the Sahaba, they wake up these days, they will say we are in Jannah, and one of the scholars told them, look at that. This is what human prepared for a human. What do you think? What the Lord of a human is going to prepare for a human? This is like what you see and what you're amazed about. You think that's in Jannah? This is nothing compared what's in the real Jannah. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepared for muttaqin. And actually, there's another Imam was talking about Jannah, describing Jannah. And the way how he described it, it was a little bit confusing. He just focused on one aspect of it without a further explanation why is that. Well, he was talking Jannah, the green, has a lot of rivers and lakes and water and beautiful faces. And after he finished, and that Imam was giving that khutbah in a mosque in Halifax. And after he finished, a young boy came to the Sheikh. Said, Sheikh, today you were explaining Jannah, or you were talking about Halifax. So that's a little boy, he felt like, you're describing something you already have. No, actually, what you have is nothing compared with akhirah. And Ibn Mas'ud, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, mentioned that hadith. He said, nothing in Jannah compared to dunya except the names. Just names. ليس من في نعيم الجنة من الدنيا شيء إلا الأسماء. Just what you see, like in Jannah, Allah will say something is just to make the picture easy to you. But you cannot even imagine. فيها ما لا عين رأت ولا أذن سمعت ولا خطر على قلب بشر. In Jannah, there is something there that eyes have not seen, and ear have not heard, and mind have not even imagined. That's in Jannah. When Allah will say something in Jannah like this, do not take it literally. فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة. عندما يذكر عين جارية، الماء إذا جرى لا يفسد، يتغير متجدد وأصله متجدد. والماء الراكد أسرع إلى الفساد. الجنة مياؤها حتى الراكدة لا تفسد. قال سبحانه وتعالى: مثل الجنة التي وعد المتقون فيها أنهار من ماء غير آسن. لم يذكر هنا ماء يعني متغير، ولم يذكر متغير، ولكن مع ذلك أنه غير متغير قال في تلك الآيات قال غير آسن، لم يتغير. فممكن لا يتغير حتى مع عدم جريانه، إلا أن جريان الماء دلالة على أن ذلك الماء لا يفسد لأنه متجدد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Jannah there are springs that are running, like flowing, and the water that will never stop. So you never even worry about the source of the water. And nowadays, if you look at the civilization, it was built around the water. So water, it's mean a lot. It's the essential part of the life, and that's a source of life, of living. So when you mention river or any source of the water like springs, that's something, it's important. It's related to the people that and their culture and what they are living. And in fact, most of the wars, like in the past, the reason behind it, because of they want to control the source of the war. Is that right? Look at that. Why is this? Why that? They want to expand to get this source of war. Even these days, now there's almost a war between Egypt and I guess Habasha, and Ethiopia. Is that right? Yeah, they have issues because of the source of the war. And even what the Israel doing, like sometimes they want to control the source of the war. They want to expand because that's the source of their living and how they will stay, and their source of the power. Without that, what are you going to do? So anyway, so when Allah will mention that, they will tell you, do not have to worry. You're staying there forever. Your source of water, like, and living, is there forever. Fiha aynun, jariyah. And it's running water. Because when the running water, that will never get bad. With the water, they get bad, like, where it's still water, not moving. And even though there are some mentioned in the ayat, there are some ayat that the water is not moving, but Allah, when He will mention that the water is not running, He will say to you, that water will never change. غَيْرِ آسِنٍ. It's a beautiful thing. Without going further into explanation, what's in Jannah? What in Jannah, what you're looking at and running after in dunya, that Allah took care of it in akhirah. So in other words, Allah tells you, do not even worry. Forget about that. You have a dream, even your dream not being fulfilled nowadays, you will have the best form of the dreams that will come in reality in the day of judgment. So He wants you to shift your dream, shift your thinking. Do not worry about this life, because we are going to take care of you hereafter. That's one thing. Second point, why Allah will mention all of that about Jannah, He will tell you what's required from you these days, just to control yourself and stay away from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited. And enjoy whatever is halal. The haram, just always stay away from it. And as a compensation for that, and as a reward for this, being controlling yourself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make what is haram is halal for you in the day of judgment. Can you imagine? But give me an example for what is haram nowadays. Drinking alcohol, yes? In Jannah, one of the rewards, you will drink alcohol. But they will give you the nashwa, the ladda, the maybe the effect of the alcohol, but it never like make your mind absent. لا فيها غول ولا هم عنها ينزفون. Subhanallah, it's beautiful things. One of the things, like for example, give me another thing that it's nowadays you cannot, as man, you cannot wear. You cannot wear what? Gold and even silk, harir, yes? In Jannah, part of your reward, you will wear, the silk, and all of that will be permissible and halal for you. So we'll tell you, like in a simple word, just control yourself and stay away from what Allah made haram for you for a certain period of time. And as a reward, all of that will be halal for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you that in a way you cannot imagine. So the description of Jannah, for many reasons that I just mentioned, some of that, and inshallah we'll continue more talking about that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant Jannah for all of us, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He gathered us in this place, may Allah gather us around our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, looking at the face of Ar-Rahman. And by the way, the highest reward of the people of Jannah is to look at the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant that for all of us. Ameen. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa